Chamber of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture, is Sir Mike Elechi, JP, ably represented by Engineer Chukudi Ezugo, Chairman, Real Estate Trade Group. You're welcome, sir. Please, a round of applause for him, sir. We recognize you wherever you're seated. Distinguished guests, also present with us here, we have Town Planner Gonaya Chime, a fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Town Planning, the second National Vice President, representing the National President, Nigerian Institute of Town Planners, Town Planner Toyin Ayinde, a fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Town Planners. Please, a round of applause, sir. You're welcome, sir. A lot of our sister bodies here present. Especially we want to recognize here with us the chairman of SVABON, our very own daddy, Essence of and Value, Gesh Henshaw. Please, a round of applause for him. You're welcome, sir. Also in his entourage, we have the registrar of SVABON. We also have the deputy registrar of SVABON in that entourage. Distinguished guests, wherever you're seated, today is a very epoch-making event. The 52nd annual conference of our great institution, SS Surveyors and Valuers, the only noble profession we have in the world. I always tell people, after God finished creating man, the first SS Surveyor and Valuer that was ever created was Adam. When God finished creating Adam, God told him, behold the earth, manage it, make it fruitful. Today, seated in this hall, Your Excellencies, are proud members of this great institution. Please, wherever you're seated as a surveyor and valuer, you're a fellow, you're an associate, please can you give a round of applause for yourselves wherever you are? Please, you can do better than that, except you're not proud of your status. For once, I am proud that I'm an surveyor and valuer, a master of all trade, but a master of valuation. Distinguished guests, Your Excellencies, we want to recognize the arrival of the former governor of Rivers State, His Excellency Chief Sir Dominic Omeya. Please, a round of applause for him. Celestine Omeya, you're welcome, sir. Chief Sir Celestine Omeya, you're welcome. Representing the executive governor of Rivers State, the only governor that we call Mr. Project, the man we call POS Africa, His Excellency Chief Barrister Nelson Ezenwo Wike. Please, a round of applause for His Excellency. You're welcome. His Excellency Chief Sir Barrister Celestine Omeya, you're welcome. Distinguished guests, as this event proceeds, we'll be recognizing dignitaries here gathered, friends of our great institution, but to welcome us. Okay, more recognitions.
Distinguished guests, noble colleagues, I'd like to just quickly recognize our fathers of the profession. May I recognize the past presidents of our great institution, starting with the first, Estate Surveyor and Valuer O.J.A. Idudu. He's the 11th president of our great institution. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. The second on the list is Estate Surveyor and Valuer Gesh Henshaw. Please put your hands together. May I also recognize Estate Surveyor and Valuer Asiwaji Dosu Fatokun, the 17th president. Estate Surveyor and Valuer Chief Emeka Onora Ochendo One is the 18th president. May I recognize Estate Surveyor and Valuer Bode Adedeji, the 19th president of our great institution. Thank you very much. May I recognize Estate Surveyor and Valuer Emeka D. Ele, the 20th president of our great institution. May I also recognize the presence of Estate Surveyor and Valuer Olorogun James Omeru, our 21st president. It is my pleasure to recognize the 22nd president of our great institution, Estate Surveyor and Valuer Dr. Bolarinde Patola Ajayi. Thank you very much, sir. It is my pleasure to recognize the 23rd president of our great institution, Estate Surveyor and Valuer Sir Roland Abonta. Thank you very much, sir. It is not easy to have these past presidents gather in this august meeting. Thank you very much. May I recognize His Royal Majesty, the Olu of Ilaro and paramount ruler of Yewaland, Estate Surveyor and Valuer, Oba Kehinde Olugbenle. Thank you very much. May I also recognize the presence of some of our dignitaries that are here present with us. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the Right Honorable Martin Amewule, member representing Obiakpo constituency, is here with us. Thank you, my brother. May I also recognize the presence of Honorable Barrister Osima Gina. You're most welcome, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, the order list for recognition is as follows. The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Lands and Survey, River State, Estate Surveyor and Valuer, Lozie Wanla, is here with us. May I also recognize the presence of the Director of Lands, Bayelsa State, Estate Surveyor and Valuer, Francis Mumeya. May I also recognize the presence of the Commissioner for Works and Infrastructure, Estate Surveyor and Valuer, Moses Tableway, FNIVS, Bayelsa State also. May I also make welcome Estate Surveyor and Valuer, Lekon Lukman, is the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Housing, Ogun State. May I also recognize the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Housing, ESV Bola Orekoya. Thank you very much, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. We will be moving on to the next item on the agenda within the next shortest time possible. Franz, Craig, please come up.
Thank you very much, sir. Please, can we give Estate Surveyor and Valuer Gary Ikutu a round of applause? He's a fellow of our great institution, please. Thank you very much, sir. Mr. President, Your Excellencies, we want to recognize the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, the River State branch, representing their national president, Njoku Nwachukwu, the state chairman. Please, a round of applause. You're welcome, sir. Also in his entourage, we have Mrs. Chinenye Onwuka, the South-South Zonal Coordinator of the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria. You're welcome. They have to be here because we are one of their major clients. You're welcome. Mr. President, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, at this point, I want to invite to welcome all of us to the Garden City, the only city in Nigeria that is a garden, but cannot be compared to Garden of Eden. The chairman of the River State branch, Estate Surveyor and Valuer Hamilton Odom. Please, a round of applause for him as he comes up to welcome all of us. Do we have people from River State here? This is River State. Please, let's give him a round of applause, please, as he comes to welcome all of us on behalf of the branch and the good people of River State.
The Executive Governor of River State, ably represented by former Governor, Chief Sir Celestino Meha, the President of the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers, Estate Surveyor and Valuer, Sir Emmanuel Okas Wike, the First Vice President of our institution, Second Vice President, past Presidents of our institution, members of the Management Committee, members of Council, all branch chairmen here present, Board of Trustee members present, Chairman of the Estate Surveyors and Valuers Registration Board, Registrar of the Estate Surveyors and Valuers Registration Board of Nigeria, all Royal Majesties here present, members of the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the River State branch of the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers, I'm glad to welcome all practicing estate surveyors and valuers members of the academia, students, members of allied professions from all over the world, and the general public to the 52nd Annual Conference of the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers holding in Port Harcourt, the one and only garden city of Nigeria. We express our deepest gratitude to the entire institution for selecting Port Harcourt and the River State branch to host this landmark conference with the theme, Cities of the Future, Development, Infrastructure, and Sustainability. The 52nd Annual Conference of Niesv is a colossal platform for dissemination of knowledge, for networking, for innovations, for unique concepts, and for collaboration. It's a great opportunity to gather with multidisciplinary group of researchers and to be part of the discussions and presentations by leading experts in the field of urban logistics and transportation, infrastructure development and management, waste management, urban planning, etc., and the new advances and innovations for sustainability. Future cities will have been made to understand. We have super connected street experiences, mega bridges, and underground spaces. Technology will also be used to create a new quality of life in well-planned developments that will not lose human touch. Indeed, the choice of the team and host city is not a coincidence. Throughout the duration of your stay in Port Harcourt, you will witness the transformational and unprecedented infrastructural development in the city and the giant strides our government is making in the area of urban renewal. Port Harcourt is already looking up to be a future city. For those of you who have been around for a couple of days, you will see that our city is safe for everybody. All efforts to demarket us have failed. It's a wonderful place and nightlife is great. Once again, I welcome all participants to the wonderful, dynamic, and cosmopolitan city of Port Harcourt. I do hope you will find the conference and your stay in Port Harcourt both valuable and enjoyable. Thank you, and God bless all of you.
Thank you very much. That's the chairman of the River State branch of the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, we want to specially recognize the Executive Chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Services, Mr. Mohammed Nani, ably represented by the Director of Building and Works, Mr. Hassan Abubakar. Please a round of applause for him. You're welcome, sir. Also present with us here, we want to specially recognize professional bodies here with us today. We have the President of Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria, Prince Adeshino Adedayo. Please a round of applause for him, ably represented by Mr. Aziz Alatoye. Please a round of applause, a fellow of the institution. You're welcome, sir. Also, one of our sister bodies here with us, the Nigerian Institute of Architects, Architect Enyi Ben Ebo, the president, the 29th president of the Nigerian Institute of Architects. Please a round of applause for him. You're welcome, sir. We recognize you wherever you're seated. We want to recognize, representing His Royal Majesty King Dr. Danderson Douglas Jaja of Opobo Kingdom and Chairman River State Council of Traditional Rulers, His Royal Highness Eze Engineer Morgan and Amadi Ezioha Okporo Okurusi Kingdom. Please a round of applause for him. You're welcome, Your Royal Highness. We have representing the Chief Executive Officer of Lafarge Africa PLC, Lafarge Aggregates Concrete, Mr. Kayode Ibrahim, the area manager. Please a round of applause for him. Welcome, sir. We recognize you. We have Town Planner Usman Nadada, Commissioner for Ministry of Lands and Service, representing the Governor, Executive Governor of Katsina State, His Excellency Right Honorable Bello Masari. Please a round of applause for him. Please, let's clap for him, representing the Governor all the way from the northwestern part of Nigeria. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, a lot of personalities here with us. We have His Royal Majesty King Chike A.A. Wallo here with us, Wodo, Ezeoha, Akpara King of Akpara Kingdom. You're welcome, sir. Please a round of applause for him. You're welcome, sir, Your Royal Highness. We have Mrs. Helen Chika here with us, representing the President of ICANN, Malam Tijani Musa Isa. Please a round of applause for him, the 15th President of the Institute. Also, we have SS Surveyor and Valuer Perpetua Ohama, the Director, Resource of Compensation, Federal Capital Development Authority, Abuja, represented by Engineer Hadi Shehu Ahmed, Executive Secretary of the Federal Capital Development Authority. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, at this point, I want to invite to give his welcome address one president of this great institution that have set an antecedent. We call him the president of the young surveyors of this great institution, a man that has given hope to young surveyors, have put in our institution on a different pedestal amongst committee of institutions or professional bodies in Nigeria. He's our very own president. We call him His Excellency. Please a round of applause for Chief Sir Ima Okas Wike, our Estate Surveyor and Valuer President. Please, is that how you're going to clap for our president? A man that have served meritoriously and have also put his name in the sands of time of our great institution, notably as one of the youngest surveyors that rose to the pinnacle of this great institution. You're welcome, sir.
Your Excellency, Celestine Omeha, the former governor of Rivers State, our special keynote speaker, Mike Ezohumi, SAN, the first vice president, Estate Surveyor and Valuer Jumbo Amayebo, the second vice president, Estate Surveyor and Valuer Victor Alonge, past presidents here present as have already established by the MC, members of Board of Trustees. I was told that the chairman of the Board of Trustees will join us online, and if he's on, the chairman of the Board of Trustees of the Nigerian Insurance of Estate Surveyors and Valuers, Estate Surveyor and Valuer Chief Emeka Honora, other members of the BOT, royal fathers here present, our special invited guests, fellows of the institution, associates of the institution, probationers and graduates, students, great estate management students, great estate management students. You are welcome. I'm Mekao. You know, when we came here in April, I told our people that when we come for this conference, we should learn how to greet in Rivers State language. Here in Rivers State is a mini Nigeria. We have several languages, but where we are standing today is the Ikwere land. I want to greet you in Ikwere language. Anmekao, 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 Neriama, and Alawi. Let me, on behalf of all of us, thank God Almighty for giving us the opportunity to assemble here. Let me also, on behalf of all of us, thank the Executive Governor of Rivers State, who has opened the door of Rivers State for us to come in. And most especially for opening this beautiful conference center, which is Obiwale International Conference Center. I want to tell the governor, thank you. It is my honor to welcome you to the 52nd Annual Conference of our great institution, a truly unique platform for members of the institution to come together and shape the future of our profession and our nation. All praises be given unto God Almighty, by whose special grace we are gathered for this occasion. I am most grateful to him for permitting us to hold this conference and for bringing us together physically again after the Abuja conference in 2021. I am delighted to say that the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers, in its about 53 years of existence, have promoted the general interest of the profession while maintaining and extending its usefulness for the public good by advising members of the public, government departments, statutory bodies, local governments, associations, institutions, and such other bodies on all matters coming within the scope of the profession, while also initiating and supporting any legislation relevant to the objects of the institution. Unarguably, we have also made valuable contributions to the development of the nation in the areas of public policy formulation, land administration, assets management and administration, housing and project development. We have positively impacted the landscape within several achievements and contributions, so numerous to mention here. Noble colleagues, we are gathered here for a very important purposes of promoting and sharing of knowledge, acquisition of competencies, expansion and deepening of professional development. Conferences provide opportunities for this. Let me therefore make good use of this opportunity to learn, acquire, and share with one another new ideas, new techniques of practice, especially in the fast-growing, changing world. The theme of the 52nd conference is Cities of the Future, Development, Infrastructure, and Sustainability. Depending on how they are planned, maintained, and financed, cities play multifaceted roles in all societies. Cities are drivers of economic growth and at the same time, the breeding grounds of poverty, environmental hazards, and communicable diseases, among other ills. Most African cities, Nigeria inclusive, are growing without corresponding economic transformation. They are largely unplanned, highly fragmented, and disconnected. Pantry investment in physical, social, and economic and infrastructural and services, and characterized by informal modes of social protection, infrastructure and service provision, and the formation of municipal administration to and functional should be a priority of all of us. Failure to transform our cities will amount to failure to meeting the targets set out in the Sustainability Development Goals, which was adopted by 193 countries, including Nigeria. Otherwise referred to as the Project 2030, the Sustainability Development Goals is a global endeavor aimed at putting an end to poverty, securing the planet, while ensuring that everyone enjoy peace and prosperity by the year 2030. It is It also aimed at ensuring three critical issues of functionability, economy, aesthetics, which are largely lacks in Nigerian present cities. It is expected that the key challenges of the future city development and solutions, as well as necessary intervention to solve the hydra-headed problems, will be examined in this conference, and suggestions will be passed to the appropriate authorities for necessary consideration and implementation. And let me say that for the past 2 days, we have erudite scholars, we have professionals that at the end of this conference, most of the things that we need to do to make our city livable and functional will be addressed to the appropriate quarters. The depth of knowledge, competencies, and exposure of resource persons who have been invited to share ideas with us in this epoch gathering tells us loud and clear that we are in for exciting moments. I sincerely appreciate your presence here. I enjoy my noble colleagues and our guests who have also registered for this conference to attend the plenary session, which they have done and which we will continue today, and other breakout sessions, both physically and virtually as the case may be. It is going to be highly impacting and enriching, ensuring that you learn, unlearn, relearn many things at this conference. I want to most respectfully recognize and appreciate the representatives of the government, heads of government agencies, chief executive officers of corporate organizations, stakeholders in the built sector here present for identifying with us on this landmark event, as have already been recognized by the MCs. I want to thank the president of our sister professional bodies and warmly welcome your presence and your goodwill messages that you will give to us. No doubt, a great deal of strategic thinking has been deployed into making this conference a reality and a huge success. I wish to thank most sincerely the brains behind the planning of this conference, the conference planning committee ably coordinated by Estate Surveyor and Valuer Dr. Olorogun Emmanuel Mark, a fellow of the institution. The Honorary National Secretary, National Public Secretary, Estate Surveyor and Valuer Otumba Said Makinde, members of the Conference Planning Committee, members of the Corporate Affairs Committee, River State Branch Chairman, Estate Surveyor and Valuer Hamilton Odom, and his ESCO, and the members of the Local Organizing Committee, ably led by Estate Surveyor and Valuer Elliot Orupabo. You deserve our commendation. Please, can we put our hands together for this, our brothers and our sisters? They have had sleepless nights to ensure that we enjoy this conference. I will be stepping aside in a few days' time. In fact, I was told that it's now in hours. I think I have 48 hours to go. Permit me to use this opportunity to express my profound gratitude to the members of this noble institution for giving me the honor to pilot the affairs of the institution as the president for the past 2 years. I appreciate the National Council members for their kind support for the programs of this administration. Without your support and cooperation, we will not be here today. One thing I know for certainty is that the path we have collectively chosen as a professional body will continue to shine brighter and brighter as we vigorously pursue the objects of the institution. We shall reach our goal as long as we operate in unity. On behalf of the council, I want to welcome all our special guests. I want to welcome all my professional colleagues. I want to welcome all our dignitaries that are here present. And let me say, like I put in my address, it is not in my character, and it has never been, that I'm going to elongate my tenure. The Constitution is clear that on Saturday, whether election or no election, Emma Wike will hand over to a new administration. Please, I want to make it clear. Thank you very much. Thank you. It is not true. Let people not blackmail me. I'm saying it before my elders. I'm happy that Celeste Nomea is here. It is not true that I want to elongate. People have been blackmailing me for the past 3 days that I do not support the election because I want to elongate my tenure. It is not correct. Whether election or no election, on 25th, Saturday, by the grace of God, all of us being alive, I will hand over properly to the constituted authority. On that note, I say welcome, and God bless all of us. Ambialawe, and make out the essence of your cow, the essence of yours, and make out the chiefs, and make out the elders, and make out Ambialawe.
Please, another round of applause for our dear president of the great institution. He has given very remarkable speech here this morning from afternoon. One more time, give it up for Estate Surveyor and Valuer, Chief Emma Okas Wike, the capacity president. Right, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, noble colleagues, we are gradually coasting down on the program as scheduled for today. While we wait to bring up on stage to give his welcome remarks, may we use this opportunity to recognize the presence of the head of service of Rivers State. While Mr. President was speaking, he was ushered in. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together as we make welcome Barrister Rufus Godwin, the head of service, Rivers State. Thank you very much, sir. You're most welcome, sir. May we also use this opportunity to recognize properly the leader of the Rivers State House of Assembly, Honorable Martin Chike Amewule. My friend and my brother, you are most welcome, sir. Thank you very much. May I also recognize the presence of Honorable and Estate Surveyor and Valuer M.O. Chinda, River State House of Assembly. You are most welcome, the Right Honorable. We want to use this opportunity to thank Lafarge Group. We have just been notified that they have supported this conference with some beautiful souvenirs for members and delegates. Thank you very much, Lafarge Group. We appreciate your kind gesture. Ladies and gentlemen, let me bring up on stage the chairman of the Central Planning Committee who has put together this 52nd conference that we are currently enjoying. Estate Surveyor and Valuer, Dr. Emmanuel Mack. Please put your hands together for him. The man has not slept for the past 1 week or thereabout. You're most welcome, sir.
Thank you. Mr. President of our great institution, Estate Surveyor and Valuer, Emmanuel Okawani Wike, the first Vice President, my own friend and brother, John Bull Amaebo, the second Vice President, my dear colleague, Estate Surveyor and Valuer Victor Alonge, the trustees of our great institution, our guest speaker, our special guest, past president of the institution, I salute you all. I want to stand on all other well-established protocol by our compeers today. Dear colleagues, It is with delight I welcome all of you our delegates, colleague, annual conference of the Nigerian Institution on Guiding City 2022 commenced on the 20th of June to the 25th of June 2022. This year's theme is Cities of the Future, Development, Infrastructure, and Sustainability. It is ripe for discussion at this time when it is demanding on us as state surveyors and valuers to lead in the narrowing of the gap of the infrastructure gap in Nigeria. This year's conference also features over 15, it is 12 here, but we later increased to about 15 papers and sessions where subject matter experts, business leaders will lead conversations primarily aimed at envisioning the future of our cities within the context of a rapidly changing and evolving world, and anticipate the adaptive measures that practitioners will be required to embrace in light of this imminent challenge. This event also provides a platform to not only discuss, but also to provide an implementation plan and practices for the economy for accelerating regional and accelerating activity, intellectual discussions, and impactful experience. Let us be prepared to, and most importantly, take the lead in making our cities better. This conference, like I said, is designed to encourage delegates to socialize and network. There will be also sports. Dear colleagues, I want to at this point thank the President and Council for appointing us as members of the Central Planning Committee. Especially, I want to also thank the local organizing committee, led heavily by Estate Surveyor and Valuer Elliot Orubabo. You have all done well, and I hope that members and colleagues of our great institution will have a wonderful time in Port Harcourt. Welcome you all.
Thank you very much, the chairman of the Central Planning Committee. We want to seriously apologize to the president for that mix-up. We're very sorry, Mr. President. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, we have come to a very important part of today's occasion. If you have the program brochure with you, we are on page 43 of the brochure. Please, some people have been asking that they are not following events. So please, if you open your brochure to page 43, to our visitors and our guests, if you don't have any of the program brochure with you, please call on any of our ushers. They are dressed in black and white. They will be attending to you, please. For our visitors, if you are not a visitor, if you're a surveyor, you're supposed to have this brochure with you, apart from our visitors. Mr. President, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, we're gathered here today in the city of Port Harcourt, the River State capital, for our 52nd annual conference. The president have told us why we're in Port Harcourt, and also we've been welcomed by all the stakeholders. To give a good message on behalf of the good people of River State, and on behalf of the executive governor of River State, the governor we call Mr. Project Nigeria, the POS Africa, His Excellency, Chief Barrister Niesv Wike, The president of our great institution and the chairman of council is still our president, so he's the chief host, and he has overridden that and said we should go straight to go-do messages from our sister bodies. As soon as we're done with go-do messages from our sister bodies, professional bodies, before we can take a message from our very own chief host, the executive governor of River State. So please, in no particular order, we have the Federal Inland Revenue Services here with us. And also we have the Charges of Taxation of Nigeria here with us. Also Institute of Bankers here with us. So please, you will just come up, give your goodwill messages. I've been told because of the brevity of time that we have, we are going to stick your goodwill messages to just 60 seconds, at most 2 minutes. Please, can we have from the bankers? The bankers are always ready. Let's have you first. Please, a round of applause for them, Institute of Bankers, as they come to give their goodwill message. After that, we have the tax collectors here in the building, Taxation of Nigeria. We'll bring them up. Nigerian Institute of Architects, we'll also bring them up. The town planners are also in the building. We're also going to bring them up for their goodwill message. Very short and very sharp. Please, let's give them a round of applause as they come up to give their goodwill messages.
Thank you very much, Mr. MC. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, permit me to stand on the well-established protocol. On behalf of the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, I am Kwachukwu Njoko, the state chairman of the branch, want to associate with the good things and the dreams that this great institution, Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers, have for our nation, the city of the future. Indeed, it's a solitary fantasy to dream. And this great dream, the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, our prayer is that the Almighty God should help you to make it a reality. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you, sir, for keeping to time. That's why we love bankers. Up next, town planners. Association of Nigeria, please. The town planners, please. Can we just have your goodwill message? Please, a round of applause for the town planners as they come and give their goodwill message on behalf of their own institution to this year's conference. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you. The President, Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Town Planner Bonachime, Second National Vice President of our institute. I stand in for my national president, Town Planner Toyin Ainde, who unavoidably is absent for the occasion. The president really would have been here himself, but he had some other professional challenges to tackle there in Lagos. The Nigerian Institute of Town Planners associates deeply with this institution and wishes that this conference ends in praises. My president really said he had wished to use this opportunity to showcase the love the outgoing president had for the built environment. He therefore had asked me to thank him specially and thank members of this institution and all of us gathered here. And remind us too that there is no future for the cities unless there is a law that will serve as a regulation. And happily enough, Nigeria has gotten one, and that is Nigerian Urban and Regional Planning Law of 1992. I therefore enjoin all of us, especially professionals in the built environment, to join us and ensure that this law is implemented and seen to be implemented, both at the national, states, and local government. On behalf of my president, I wish all of us a good outing. God bless all of us.
Thank you, sir, for that brief, short, straight to the point, good message. Your Excellencies, Mr. President, distinguished guests, the hour has come, 1 hour that we have all waited for. Our guests and keynote speaker for today is a man that does not need an introduction. One of Nigeria's finest legal luminary. We know him as one of Nigeria's best constitutional lawyers, a senior advocate of Nigeria of repute, one of the chiefs that whenever you give him the microphone, you'll be happy that somebody's holding the microphone. A proud son of Edo State, Your Excellencies, please, honoring us in this capacity as the keynote speaker for our 52nd annual conference, the only senior advocate that has a different hairstyle with a line on it. Ladies and gentlemen, please a round of applause for His Excellency Chief Mike Ezekome, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, an officer of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Is that the best we can do, ladies and gentlemen? You're welcome, sir.
Your Excellency, former Governor, Chief Celestine Omeya, my very good friend, the President, this great institute, the Nigerian Institute of Estate Surveyors and Valuers. I saw a very revered royal father here, the Olu of Ilaro, and the paramount king of the Yewa people. I salute you, sir. May I salute Chief Joe Odudu. Even whilst we were in the university, we were reading about him and his exploits in this profession. And I remember, I think he rose to become a partner with Knight Frank and Rotley, a very great organization. May I thank all of you, traditional rulers, professionals here, and even His Excellency, my good friend who is not present here physically, Governor Niesv. Let me correct the MC when he said the first profession on earth was estate survey and valuing. That can be correct. It's only one profession, and that is the legal profession, law. I will tell you why. I will tell you why. God decided to create the world. He's the creator who was not himself created. Is that not so? Everything he did by order. He will create the night, he will create the day. He will create the earth, the river, the seas, the fish, the animals. That was law and order going on. Not only that, it was violation of this law and order. He handed down a law to Adam and Eve. Of all the fruits in the Garden of Eden, thou may eat, but except one, the fruit of that represented good and evil. Adam ate it. And when God decided to give him fair hearing, he could have condemned him or her, because being omniscient, omnipresent, omnipotent, he had already seen the sin. He gave him a fair hearing. Adam, why did you, in fact, He asked a question. Adam even failed the exam. Adam, he said, my Lord, where are you? He said, I'm hiding here. Where are you? That was not the question. They asked him whether you were wearing clothes or not. But Adam had a defense. That was still law at play. The woman thou created for me, plucketh, giveth to me, and I eat it. That was his defense, her defense. It was after hearing all that that God decided to convict them and punish them. You all know the story. So law and order preceded the great institute of estate surveying and valuing. I know you will not agree. I delivered a lecture last week at the MBA conference in Benin, and I was telling them that I'm a proud product of the University of Ife, and that there are only 2 universities in Nigeria, the University of Ife and others. Great Ife! So because of that, belonging to the first profession in the universe and attending the best university in the universe, I stand before you this morning to say, God bless you for giving me this opportunity to share a few ideas with you on this your great topic. By the way, I have given you my paper. It is 72 pages. I'm not supposed to be an expert in this field. Because of that, I deem you. I respect you for whatever little views I have, share them, and I will share these 72 pages in just few words. They're making my presentation that the former British Prime Minister once put it, Winston Churchill. Say lecture should be so that it should be long enough to cover the subject, but brief enough to elicit more attention. Cities of the future. Development, infrastructure, and sustainability. My take is that sustainable development is a balance between people's economic and social needs and the preservation of natural resources and ecosystems to meet present and future needs. According to the United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs, 2018, about 55% of the world's population presently lives in urban areas. 51.9% of the estimated population of Nigeria, 217 million by United Nations projection, they live in urban areas as at 2020. Of course, Nigeria's population is expected to rise up to 400 million by the year 2050. Lagos is the largest urban center in Nigeria, the most cosmopolitan. Some people say about 16 million people, but I think Lagos should be more than 25 million people. If you go to Mushin alone and Isolo alone, you will understand what I'm talking about. It is that largest city worldwide. According to the World Bank, urbanization is the single most important transformation that the African continent will undergo this century. African cities, including Nigerian cities, are growing. They are largely unplanned, very dirty, dingy, highly fragmented, disconnected, pantry in investment and physical, social, and economic infrastructure and services, and they are characterized by informal